Hello, everybody. We are live and coming in here hot off some really hot games in VRML. End of preseason week 5. And then we got another great one up here today between Illuminaughty and Synapse. The undefeated, I should mention, Synapse. Meanwhile, Illuminaughty only one loss on the season. Oh, this is going to be a fun one, and I'm still hyped coming off of that last match we just witnessed. Trying to catch my breath. I got some tea. Some hot tea, got some honey. And you know what else I got? I got SirDimwi. How's it going, man?
It feels so good to be back sitting in this position with you doing the play-by-play. So much for subtlety on cameras. Like, this is my comfort zone. I know what I'm doing here. I know what I'm gonna say. You know what I mean? Like, I am so happy right now.
You had a little bit of that trial by fire you mentioned, and perhaps a little bit of a burn. I don't know. No, it's not a worry in the world. Like I was saying earlier, we're glad to have you doing it, getting trained up in it. That's what the preseason is for both the casters and the cameraman and the teams and the players, all of the above. We're all here and in it to learn it. So I know without a doubt you'll come along because you got the skills, you got the speech, and you've got the cast here tonight.
Yeah, and I had a whole bunch of intro scripted up, but we're already jumping in here. So just to touch on it real quick, we've got Synapse coming in here, 7-0 as you mentioned, ranked 1 in NA, the only undefeated NA team left, and then Illuminaughty coming in ranked 3, coming in 6-1. Their only loss against Kang almost a month ago. So that's where we're at.
And now, where we're at is with a shot. How about that from Zach? Immediately off of that launch, 9 seconds in, there was a little bit of brawling going on right in that mid lane, but it didn't matter. It's a 3-point, just the same.
Yeah, and both of these teams, you cannot give either of them a look at an empty goal because both of them they're not just going to try to take the shot. They're going to take it and they're going to make it.
Oh, yeah. We've seen so many wild shots from them between Zach and Andy. Taking it over here is Palace. He can shoot it, even though, like I mentioned the last cast, a lot of the offensive load usually being handled by, by Andy and Zach and Palace. But like YouTube, for instance, he plays the backline a lot, but he's fully capable. I was making the comparison too, like with Gamer Boy over there for Orbit, who we just saw in that last game. How he plays the backline heavily, playing that front line heavily, and there's the medley, a shot starting it off here for Suburban and his crew. Illuminaughty up 2-3.
And YouTube was down, and he was playing that back line, like very, very deep, just waiting for that clear attempt, which came, but he didn't quite connect with it, and he got stunned out before he could get back to it, which gave Illuminaughty the time and space to make that 3. Good goal by Illuminaughty. Good play.
Yeah, fantastic start here. 3 apiece for these teams, going deep into the other side of the floor, trying to roll on over for it, contested heavily. Andy getting stunned on the way, so QL gets it out the way. Illuminaughty, by the way, we obviously saw them earlier in the day as they try to make a play here in the tunnel against the elite Synapse, who have been just very strong here, asserting their dominance in the preseason, looking for a reason, trying to find that shot. So Zach right back on it. Palace going in. He will dump it off to Andy, but Ender now the save. Again the rebound though. Again the pass on the third attack. Finally, if my counting is correctly, it's Zach W.
Yeah, Synapse just having to do everything they can because that first attempt came in, and Burbs was there to intercept the leading cross pass, and then the second time they come in, that amazing save by Ender. So that third time they had to take out the defender, they had to take out the goal, they had to take everybody out to get that one in. Great goal there by Synapse. Good drive.
And now up by 2 is Synapse, but just the same, coming back on offense here for the pain. Speedy being punched out. YouTube getting that done there. The immediate approach in the back line will recover it, and they'll deliver it. Palace, another one for Synapse.
I didn't quite catch what was going on in the back line there, but Illuminaughty wasn't able to. They had no answer to the speed of that Synapse chain. They came down so quick and just completely uncontested, and had plenty of time to put that in for that easy 2.
Now coming out here on the launch, finding themselves down by 2 goals, that is. is Illuminaughty. Gonna be stunned again, and look at that! Right back on the attack, it is Zach, and he is whacked. What are those shots he's making? That one, he just like underarmed it. Looked so casual and so easy. And yet there it is, a 3.
Synapse defense right now is just unreal. The way they stop that at mid, and Zach just turns that around and pops that in like it's nothing. That was amazing.
Exactly that. There wasn't like a turnaround and a lineup and a fling. It was just like the most casual little underhanded shot you've seen. It just goes in with ease. Very, just impeccable offense right now we're seeing from Zach over the weeks. He is making a case for being one of the strongest, not the strongest strikers currently in the league, with some of these things that he's pulling out from every possible angle and every possible shot. And then going in there, though, for Illuminaughty, QL Young, assisted by Burbs.
Yeah, it looked like Synapse goalie. I didn't quite catch who it was, but he came out for something. He was challenging somebody, or maybe got a bad read on something. Left that goal open just long enough for QL to get that one in. Good goal, good look by QL there.
Yeah, so despite the great early offensive efforts here from Synapse, it's only a 5-point game. This is still prime time for Illuminaughty early on. Might get it done with that steal. Will it be a goal? It will be. Speedy V.
And this is the kind of game that's going to be, again, you give either of these teams a look at an empty net, and they're gonna go for that shot. And Speedy showing you the danger of leaving that goal open, even when the play's at mid. That was a beautiful goal by by Speedy.
Absolutely. Between these shots, I mean, I see Rickster there in the chat, just in awe over Zach. Lanzan as well, saying the shots from both these teams. And exactly, this is highest level Echo Arena you will see. They make it look so easy, don't they? And it's not. We all know that it's not. Getting to the level that we see these teams play here at the very top, we know how much time, how much work it's taken trying to work it in, but cannot get that. So QL Young taking it right back. It's a 2-point game. 4.5 left in the first round.
Yeah, neither of these teams have like any time to do a whole lot with the disc. Everything has to be so fast. All your jukes have to be immediate, and your ducks have to be so low. It's just the skill level in this game is unreal.
Any degree of hesitation whatsoever will spell your doom, guaranteed. Guaranteed, because you know what? They don't even need a direct line of sight on the goal to score it anymore, and they don't even have to be at the midline to go defend against a 3-point shot. For some of these stacks you'll see, I mean, they'll get end-to-end in just a couple seconds. So it's just every single second counting so hard, going for the punch there, getting the pass off to Burbs, though, and he's going to find Ender. Ender will have a rare opportunity at an open goal, cannot convert on it, though, so that's going to hurt because that could have been a 1-point lead for Illuminaughty.
That's a shot we might typically expect Ender to make after some of the performances we've seen out of him.
And you know what? He's been lighting him up, trying to go for a nice pass, and it will be dumped off to QL Young.
What a cross pass there to QL Young. So dangerous in front of the goalie, but the angle he came down at, the goalie's looking for that shot. He's not looking for that cross pass because Ender had the angle. He could have hooked that one in from above. Instead, he goes cross to QL, which just throws the goalie off even more, and QL puts that in. Great stuff.
And you got to appreciate, that pass, even though the missed shot from Ender there at first, still recovering and still looking for the open goal. You know, it's one of those things where you can say, oh man, I missed an open one. You get frustrated, and then as a result, you flub the next play. But no, he collected that back and made the right play, the exact play that he needed. Just like this one, but QL now. So the score on one end, the defense on the other, the stack coming in, and oh brother, Speedy coming in for maybe a game-leading shot, but he cannot convert. Oh, another one. Palace now is going to be sailed out of there, and they're getting the clear taken back and on the attack, so it remains a tied game, and this is insane. Going down to the bottom one more time, and there it is, the 1-2 punch. QL punching in the lead.
The control of the passing from Illuminaughty there was just, earlier, a game I was in earlier, I said that was a master class of passing. No. That was an amateur class in passing. What we just witnessed was a master class in passing.
I mean, it's like I said, the amount of skill, the thing is they make it look easy. But boy, was that difficult to execute. They still did it, though. So, just incredible gameplay here that we're seeing. in this round, opening it up just the way we thought it would be. Hot start for both of these teams, offensively, defensively. Going in for another attempt. Ender looking for that defender who's stunned. It looks like Zach was busy brawling. A lot of players clustering, and Ender finding the benefits of that.
Yeah, he came in. He did exactly what he needed to do. He comes rolling in on the goalie there. The goalie was shielding because of the scrum that was going on around him. So Ender knew the goalie wasn't coming out to challenge him, to get in as close as you can and pop that one in high the way he did. That was a beautiful goal by Ender.
Ender doing such a great job. Again, coming out of that game against Flair earlier, he finished with 30 points, I believe, across the 3 rounds. So again, lighting it up, though, it's Palace. Right down the Palace and finding a beautiful goal.
You know, Palace ended up, he was the subject of one of my my Friday night activity videos. I believe, what did I call it? Palace's Big Night Out, because that dude can score, he could score, and he just did it there. Beautiful goal by Palace.
Not only did he score, but he did it in the very timeliest manner. Not only in the last minute, but he gets a 3 as well to bring it within a point. So that is massive, because as a result, because of that 3, they need to play some defense here, but because of that 3, they at least are in position to potentially have a game-winning opportunity, if nothing else. And just coming at the perfect time. It's what they needed. Right now, they will find the recovery. So that's going to be a deep shot, but unfortunate. It's Suburban on the other end in the perfect place. And that might be kind of the sealant on this first round, it would seem. Just that late, long shot. So indeed, by 1 single point, it's going to be Illuminaughty in the first, 14-13.
Yeah, the awareness from Illuminaughty there, in particular, Suburban legend, being a bit of a legend there, knowing who they're up against, how much time is left, and what sort of desperation he's going to see. So when there's that little amount of time left, you want to give a team like Synapse a look at the goal to entice them to take that long shot while you're down there. And that may have been what he did there. Just was ready for it. He knew it was coming, and he was able to make an easy save on it before it even broached too far into the bubble. But man, the what we've seen so far in this game is just unreal.
Yeah, it was a smart play for sure, and because again, with Zach, you can't give him any angles. It doesn't matter if he has a line of sight or not. You know that if he has a line of sight on a nearby wall, a nearby geo, there's probably angles that he can make a shot from that even, I don't know about, actually, and we haven't even seen yet. I'm willing to bet. But the point is that, at that kind of situation, that a hero play would have to be on the way. So that was just smart playing back there and not allowing it to happen. And as a result, that actually won them the round. Suburban, I believe that was playing in the back, right? So really good stuff from them.
Yeah, and as you say, I mean, Zach, I've seen Zach working on so many more angles that he hasn't. I don't know if he hasn't quite worked them out yet, or if he's being subtle about it. But he definitely has a handful of options in his back pocket to pull out whenever necessary. So it's definitely keeping that on the tip of your mind.
Most definitely, and it's right now to the tune of 8 points for him, as well as the 17 stuns. And now, just for fun, we're gonna go to the second round and hope for another great contested one here as we go late into this Sunday night. So many games today, a lot of good ones. Great to see as we wind down VRML in the preseason here. And taking it is YouTube over for Synapse, getting that to Palace, going to the shoulder, maybe one over for a swing and a fling into the goal after the jukes. And you can see Suburban Legend just kind of wiggling around the block there, acknowledging all the fakes that he just got, faked by.
Andy coming in like that, doing a few pump fakes, drawing Suburban out for the attack, which gave him space to pop that one in. Great play by was it Zach, whoever it was.
It was
Andy,
and right now Suburban Legend will find it again. So here we go, 3 on the board. They're starting kind of the same way that they started the first round with that 3 early.
Burbs right there, taking out some of that aggression he picked up from not making that save on Andy, coming right back saying, Andy, you got 2, I can do you one better, buddy.
And if he could take it back, I'm sure he would realize that he had a little more time and should have thrown a shot fake on it just because. But nonetheless, it'll go over here now to Andy. Again, maybe looking for the rebuttal against Suburban's rebuttal. But finding a little trouble in getting it on over. The bounce unfortunately finding its way back to Andy's hands, and he will try and distribute it to his teammates in the back. That is actually going to be intercepted here just briefly by Ender. So good job with him, the midline defender of sorts, maybe in position to grab the disc again alongside Speedy. But they're going to find now as Speedy moved down the floor, trying to duck on through, but that is a good read from Zach. And back to the other side it'll go. The stack really quickly, and cannot make the shot. A rare miss, perhaps, from Synapse, but able to recover and get the clear based off of it. Illuminaughty. So 3 guys on the floor, right down low into the goal, and that's a 3-point lead right back for Illuminaughty.
So now I just want to touch on real quick what we just saw from Zach there. That his clear attempt, that wasn't just a clear attempt. He was intentionally throwing it off of that angled wall there to send it back down the trench, and then they came down to pick that up. That was a set play. It's easy to miss, but with a team like this, that sort of play is a set play.
You see, the problem is even when I expect it, I don't always see it. That's why I'm glad to have you. So over to YouTube, going down low. And yeah, exemplifying that perfectly. Maybe another turnover here. So with no uncertainty, Illuminaughty maybe causing some damage, looking to take advantage, and going in with a hammer. It is Speedy there. Yes, sir. 7-2.
YouTube there to challenge that as Speedy comes in, but wasn't quite in position. He knew it, so he reached out for that stun, a last-ditch attempt to stop that disc from going in, because he knew he didn't have that lane coverage from a hook shot. But Speedy with the speed, able to hook that one in. Good goal.
Always true to his name and true to his game. Such a great player there, and look at that, getting a contest here, might cause a turnover, getting back to the hands of Zach. He's gonna another just casual shot that would look good if it weren't for that island. I mean, it's actually ridiculous. Not only the speed that he's getting out, but there's the ease in his throw. It's like he's so calm. In any case, it's going to go back into the other side. YouTube finding it and clearing. Taken over here, actually just mishandled, so giving an opportunity, maybe if they can get their stacks, but finally finding the goal here. Going on through, and what a loop-de-loop of a play that was. He went up for, this is another fake. He went like up and over and under, then finally found the goal, but that was a confusing move, and he lost the defense as a result.
And that goal, that shot there is the Andy version of the whirly twirly as he comes in for the dunk, where Zach will usually try to take the shot. Andy will walk right in on you. You won't even see it coming, and he'll just put it in right next to you.
Yeah, that was just a great move there. And I mean, it confused the heck out of me, if nothing else. QL Young going in, and for a nice soft one that just doesn't reach because of the stun. So Palace taking it over, going on over, floating it to the tunnel. Some more punches coming along the way. The stack's all kind of broken up, but a deep pass or shot attempt probably going in, and rebounded by YouTube for the goal. 1-point game again.
Yeah, YouTube knew he had no time to work with there. I don't know. There was probably communication in the comms. Stack coming in, yellow, red, whatever. And he was able to, had no hesitation, barely had time to even look at the goal. And from that steep angle, overhand, not easy to make, and he does it. Good goal.
Yeah, just the slightest of angle, he was able to work its way through there on the shot. Beautifully done here. Speedy V, his team, Illuminaughty with the 1-point lead, but looking to build on it. Oh, that's going to be a slow shot, and it will be saved at least, causing a 2-pointer, but punishing hard on that slow release. So that will still be a goal, but just the same, they missed out on a point that could be so valuable as we come into the crunch time.
And goal, when you make a save that close to the goal, you got to wonder sometimes, did I actually miss it? Did I put it in myself? Or was that ping? Was it so close that ping just worked against you? It's hard to know, but it can be aggravating all the same.
Yeah, the answer to the question also in the chat. Yeah, number 1, number 3 MMR here of 1270 for Synapse going in, but nice save grabbed out there by YouTube, and 1250 MMR also for Illuminaughty. So a little bit separating them. Illuminaughty playing less games on the season overall, and Synapse so far undefeated on the season. They've lost a few individual rounds, but that's it. Right now, Illuminaughty is ahead by the 3 points. We're under 4 minutes to go here. Looking a little bit disjointed on a few of these passes, so now back-to-back turnovers. Palace looking on over, maybe a self-pass, but no, taken out of there by Ender, and he'll go down, but another turnover it goes. So again, trying to find their avenues, but some incredibly intense defense coming in, and it doesn't matter because it's Zach again, doing now kind of what Andy did and showing a little bit of whirl and twirl himself.
And that again, I mean, that's Zach's version of it. He'll come in, and he's going to twirl on you, but he's going to take that shot. He's not going to walk it all the way in like Andy does. He doesn't take those really high angle approaches. I mean, it was still a high angle approach, but not quite from directly to the side. But yeah, beautiful goal by Zach. I mean, that's what we expect from him.
And as a result, we are right back to that 1-point game. Again, Illuminaughty here, they came through with a first round win. So right now, Synapse needing a win, and he'll go again. Zach W. Spelling out maybe a W for this second round if he keeps it up.
And just to beat a dead horse, again, Zach coming in, the same angle Andy takes, and but doesn't go for the dunk, goes for the hook shot, and able to put that one in. Good goal by Zach.
Hook, line, and sinker, sinking all these shots. Not a problem. It doesn't matter if it's from near, from far, wherever Zach is, he'll find a way, it would seem. Now going to find a way here, Zach again. So now they have a lead, 2.5 minutes left, going for a deep clear, probably a shot. Going to Speedy though instead on the intercept. The rebound, or the grab rather, not there, so the rebound does go to Palace and Synapse. But another quick clear will result in another quick turnover. So now Ender will go in there, but he's looking for trouble as the double time stack from Andy, and Palace will get that. Back now into the pocket, trying to drop it. Zach taking the shots. Some of his teammates boosting on through. YouTube there, Andy as well. And Suburban in the goal. So looking for an opportunity. There's the bother, and without a bother making the shot. Goalie was all smothered right there. And a 3-point lead for Synapse.
No, this is another one that's easy to miss. Palace comes in on the goalie there, and instead of trying to stun the goalie while the goalie was shielded, instead he gets right in front of him and just shakes his body around. The intent there is if the goalie's going to try to make the save, there's a good chance he's going to grab that player instead of the disc. It's a great play by Palace. Easy to overlook, easy to miss.
I don't want to take too much credit here, but I would borderline call that the old Pally special way back from season 1. That was my favorite thing way back in the early days, the body blocking on the goalkeeper.
I can tell you I do it to Shepard every opportunity I get.
I do it to Dash every opportunity I get. I'm tired of him saving stuff against me all the time, but not saving that one. It is Zach right on line, 14-9.
Zach again with that whirly-twirly. And anyone who's been calling for a nerf to the whirly-twirly, this is going to be one of the examples they try to pull out here, is how many him and Andy have put in so far in this game.
For sure. It's if you're going to stop him on that move, you have to stop him before he gets that deep. I mean, one, he is an inverted player. You know, he plays upside down there. That shot, oof, just going to bounce off the nest. So taken back by Zach. There he goes, flipping upside down off the grab. I mean, you can see how quickly. So he will invert himself, making it tougher to defend him on the ceiling. But that's the thing. You have to stop him before he gets positioned. Because once he's that deep into it, it is almost a guaranteed goal. So that time forcing an earlier shot, a nice stun and grab. Palace will receive it there. 19 seconds left. So indeed, it's going to be a victory in the second round, splitting the series for Synapse.
Yeah,
one more approach here. Going off the backboard, but
oh my God,
the save from Zach, just denying it just because he could, not because he needed to.
That was unreal. It wasn't even necessary, but Zach said, "Nah, we ain't gonna let down. The fat lady hasn't sung yet. I ain't heard no fat lady. This is gonna be an exciting round 3, man. Oh my goodness."
That was twice now we've seen Zach just kind of punish a little bit of a slower shot. You know, it was off the backboard, so it took a little off the edge there, but still just coming through on every end of the floor. Ridiculous.
Hey, anybody watching, start pinging your buddies. Get them in here. If they want to see a good round 3, a high-level round 3, oh my goodness, get everybody in here. Just start pinging all your Discords, all your buddies, all your teams. Get everybody in here. This is going to be amazing. And
I was saying that, well, I was thinking much the same thing dating back to that last match that we got out of there between Ignite and it was just Ignite taking the victory there over Orbit, but it was such a close game as well. And that one from the second round onwards was just fantastic. And so now 2 in a row with these high-level matches that have not failed to disappoint. So for the stats real quick, because talking so much about what's going on, and just Want to give you a quick read, I suppose, over at home. The 14 for Zach, lighting that one up so far for his team. 5 for Palace, 6 for Andy, 2 for YouTube. 5 saves for Palace as well, and 30 stuns for Zach, the high on his team. Over on the other end for Illuminaughty, even distribution there with 7 points for Speedy, 6 for QL, 6 for Suburban, 2 for Ender. And here we go. The Ender on the series will be the 3rd round. Determining factor, will Synapse come ahead undefeated still? And not if Speedy V can have anything to say about that one, because that's the first goal for him.
And I just wanted to point out real quick that holding Ender to a single goal in any series is not a simple feat. So the fact that Synapse has been shutting Ender down is probably contributing a lot to this series.
Oh yeah, there should be a medal on that award board at the end of the game just for that. You know, this guy, Bruiser. This guy, Unrelenting. This guy, Ender Stopper.
Right? Oh, yeah.
Because he's just put on...
appropriate.
He's put on just a massive points across the weeks. Week by week, he's always getting 20, 30, 40 points, it seems. So, the fact that, I mean, even in his game earlier today, he had a really strong series. So, no small feat indeed, like you mentioned. But now, just finding a little nice pass over to the barrier, and then one more, and it will be Zach for the score. That was a great series of passing plays, kind of a triangle in the bubble.
I mean, that's just your classic formation passing around the bubble. You know, a lot of teams are proficient at that, but you see the speed with which Synapse puts that one together. All their guys move into position as they're taking those passes. That was beautifully done.
Trying to execute some passes here on there, and for Illuminaughty, as the game finds itself tied up, unsurprisingly. Gonna go down low, contested very heavily there by Palace, still taken back though by Ender. So Ender now just as well grabbing the disc, inverting himself, but now converting on the great grab, reading the lane and getting it out of there to the pocket. YouTube, I believe.
Disc into the hands of
But still the rebound will go to QL. QL will reset out to Suburban Legend here, looking for his triangle offense. Rectangle, rather, and Ender going in now. Maybe another cross. No, he's just going to go in himself.
There it is. I mean, we mentioned Ender hasn't been on the board as much as usual, and he goes and he puts in, looked like a bit of his own whirly-twirly, throwing a little bit of Zach and Andy's signature back in their face there a little bit, maybe.
For sure, and you know, Ender, no stranger to that whirly-twirly game, going inverted, sideways, whatever it takes, the dodges, the jumps, the ducks. He has a pocket full of moves and have a pocket full of 3 as well. Ender, 3 points now, 7-2 for Illuminaughty.
Not even much to say about that. The way they turn that around so quick, picking it back up on their own zone, passing it down, and putting it right in for that 3. I mean, that was just well done.
Did we, like, going into this round, did you and I casters curse that by pointing that out? Like, Ender not scoring. Very impressive that they've held him to only a, 1 goal or whatever it was. But, well, here you go. Back to back. But now on the attack, it's a 3-point shot that will just squeeze on in. So 2-point game now thanks to Palace.
Yeah, and that's how quick I mean, we've seen this through the whole series so far, how quick both teams can come back from any goal deficits against the other team. It's so fast.
Yeah, so quick. And that is the story of these high-level matches, and just pressing those little tiny nuances, those advantages. Again, week by week, month by month, you just see the individual and the team play coming along so great here. That's a nice read there, but re-grab by Palace. He'll get that out of there and grab yet again. But I continually say every time, we have matches like this, how just ridiculously impressive it is, how far along everyone's coming. The things they do are not easy. This has taken a long time. Whoa, as that sails past. This has taken a long time, though, for these players to get as good as they have, and it's just paying dividends for them because it's so entertaining for all of us here.
It definitely is. I mean, this is fun to watch. It's even more fun to cast.
Much agreed. And even then, just as a caster, it's still almost as sweaty nonetheless when you have great games like this one. A great dive, but Ender will find it again. So back to back to back, the Ender attack.
Starting to think maybe Ender was listening to the stream, heard us make our comments, and it was like, oh, okay, all right, that's how it's going to be. Because, oh my goodness, he's been all over this game. He's now 7 points in this game so far.
Doing some great work. Up to 9 now, actually, for him off of that. So 3 in a row. Doing some fantastic work and starting to catch fire. And you know what? That could be really dangerous for Synapse. That one almost going in there. Saved out Speedy V. The recovery and sends it down the floor to the other side where it's intercepted or collected rather. And Ender getting a clear, getting a boost. Will they find some juice? No, it looks like it won't be the case because the disc is loose. Right back to the hands of Burbs, backing it out to the bow tie. He has one pass in the back, a couple passes forward, goes over to Ender. He's going to be stunned, but it gets backed on out instead to Speedy. So positioning out for their team. Once again, taking that formation. Just watch the passing at play for these two teams. The positioning especially, just absolutely impeccable. And that shot, just the same. A great stun at the barrier by QL. He is an elite brawler, so he gets the punch. He receives the pass from Speedy, and he finds the 2 points.
I believe there was someone in there on the goal as well, stun the goalie out. So, I mean, just plowing the road for QL to walk that one in for that too. That was just a great play there overall by Illuminaughty.
Without a doubt. And it goes back once again to what I'm saying. All these things that make it look easy. Do you know how much ridiculous coordination that was? To have everyone in the perfect place. One at the barrier, one at the goal, going in for the roll. Andy W.
Yeah, Andy didn't even twirl as he came in on that one. Just tries to juke out the goalie like any other shooter. That was fun to see from Andy. Just a standard walking goal.
And you know what? Maybe part of the strategy. Who knows? You figure if you approach differently every time, you almost throw them off guard when you actually take the more normal, conventional approach. We're trying to approach the disc now. Going into the pocket, recollecting it is Speedy V, and they're in decent position. There's 3.5 minutes left in this final round. Whoever wins this one wins the series. Right now, Synapse is at risk of losing their first series and no longer being the only undefeated team in the North American League right now for VRML. So that could happen, but not if they have anything to say about it on Synapse. They go for that almost shot. Jeez, gonna be off the dot, but still, that's what I mean. They know even when they don't have a guaranteed goal, they know where to throw it to at least give them a good chance.
Orange clears it out.
In any case, down it'll float to the bottom, eventually collected by Palace. It'll be knocked off the head of Zach, but recollecting that is U2 on the back line. Perfect place, perfect time. Looking for that perfect pass to Zach on the attack, but Ender again the save. Another intercept, so another attempt. Going down low, this time too strong. So getting along with the disc. Here's Illuminaughty, needs to clear it. They find it finally.
Way downfield.
Just pacing, just frantic. That one maybe causing a panic. It's going to be sent and a pileup forming here. Anyone's game taken by Ender. It's Ender's game. He's been insane, but no, it's YouTube here with the retrieval and the upheaval over to Zach and the juke at that. That is classic right there as he finds an angle, trying to recover it for it. 11-7. Time is winding down. Illuminaughty feeling good, but right now it's more than any other time in this entire series. They need to clamp down and concentrate because they have a 4-point lead. They've got to hold on to this disc and take care of it. Right now, if they can find any shot here, they will take care of it. But no, that is a nice contest from Palace. Going head-to-head over the duel and coming away with it cleanly. But right back to Speedy. He'll take the shot! And absolutely 7-point lead. 90 seconds remaining.
And Ender makes that one happen as Palace was coming in. He was looking at that shot. He was trying to cover that lane, and he was covering that lane. He did get there, but right before he's able to make that save, Ender stuns him out, which allows the disc to get by Palace and get in. So I mean, oh my goodness, that was so close.
That was the closest of shots right there. I was almost gonna say, oh, that's a bold one, but you know what? The boldness paid off. Fortune favors the bold after all. YouTube right there, though, taking advantage of that one. Maybe a little too bold, but doesn't matter because they're down by 7. And right now, looking at the face of defeat for the first time in the season, it is Synapse. They're trying to recollect themselves right now, but Speedy is going to look for that victory. The Speedy V. The V stands for victory here as it goes deep into the other side. If that one goes in, I'm done, but it does not. So off it goes to Palace and finds the clear. 35 seconds left. Good punch here as well for Ender. Maybe one more just to clamp it off, and it is Speedy victory on the night.
And that right there, that's a solid icing on the game from Speedy. I mean, Oh, to come back after the first 2 rounds and come back 16-7 and 9 point deficit. I mean, it could still change for the actual end here. They still got about 9 seconds. So, oh man, what a game by Illuminaughty here.
Such a fantastic watch indeed. This rollout coming quickly for maybe one more score. Trying to slap it through, does not get that. So indeed, what a game. Zach W leading for his team, but Speedy for his. The 14 points, the high for Illuminaughty. So Illuminaughty now handing the first defeat of the season, late in the season, the preseason, to Synapse, and doing it in such an entertaining fashion.
And both these teams, I mean, this could have gone either way. Any other game in the future could go either way, and maybe we could be looking at a preview of our preseason championship series here, based off of what I just saw, because that was both teams are now only with 1 loss on the season, and both of those losses came from both incredible teams. You know what I mean? Teams that you would expect any other team to lose against. So. I don't even know. I don't even know what all to say, because this was definitely an exciting series. But I mean, no team giving any quarters. And the stun. What was the stun total in that series? 133 to 150. I mean, those are wireless jacks numbers there coming from both teams.
Well, yeah, really stun heavy. But what is impressive, I mean, if you look at it, the differentials on all these are not huge at all. I mean, if you just look at numbers wise, they're very, very close. About a minute more possession time for Synapse, but I mean, everything else, like, look, shots taken 23 to 26, not that big of a difference. Assists 14 to 10, negligible. 10 to 10 saves, 3 to 1 steals. None of that is dramatic. The stun count a little bit more in favor. 17 extra for Illuminaughty, but nonetheless, just really, for all intents and purposes, it was across the board a pretty even match. And it's just at the end there, the barrage, partially from Ender and then Speedy as well, able to get the win in the 3rd round. But otherwise, what an even matchup that was from 2 elite teams of this league.
Absolutely, and I look forward to seeing so many more games in the future from both these teams, because that was. And there's other teams that'll compete at this level as well. They're not the only two, but to see these 2 teams finally go head to head in this preseason was very exciting. And yeah, it makes me so excited to see what's going to come in the future as the 4-on-4 meta continues to develop, and then guys like Zach and Andy's, particularly Zach, develop those shots that are going to ultimately end the meta. I mean, it's only a matter of time before we see other people taking what shots, and before we see the whirly twirly becoming your standard shot attempt. We saw Ender pull that out earlier at one point in the game. So it's a very exciting time to be involved in all of this.
Well, I agree. That's why I feel like, even today with all the games going on, so many of them, my voice died a couple times, had to rehydrate. Tea is now most certainly my best friend. I've eaten so much honey today, you might as well call me Winnie. The point is, I'm winning just by casting these games and watching them. They're such a joy to watch. Gotta love it. And yeah, that might be, I'm not positive now, that might be our last match of the evening. We do have one scheduled between Rush and Chaos, but the thing is, Rush disbanded. So
that's right.
So unless something changes, because they just disbanded this morning is a thing. So unless they yeah. So I mean, unless they have a farewell match coming up, I know a lot of the same players are just going to form a new team. So that's kind of the interesting part about that. But in any case, whatever it is, that will be, if it happens, that's going to be 50 minutes away. In the meantime, I can finally just kind of let out, shrug my shoulders, get loose, and be like, well, yeah, that was as good of a Sunday as I could have hoped for. And a great way to end it.
Definitely.
So with that being said, we will wind it down now in this 5th week. Week 6 yet to come, starting tomorrow. It is the 6th and final week, so indeed the games for next week needing to be played tomorrow, or starting tomorrow, needing to be played by Saturday rather, and then Sunday will be the preseason finals between the 2 regions. So, keep an eye out on that. That'll be fun. We'll be winding it down soon, but it's been one heck of a preseason, and just glad to be able to do it here with my casting compadres and with all the community in Twitch and beyond. It's been great. So that said, without a hitch, we will now be going, I do suppose. I've been Palidore, SirDimwi, the fantastic return to commentary. Thank you for just being you. And so much for subtlety, just the same this week with the impeccable camera work. Just doing it all, making it look good, making us sound good, the players, making us all feel good. And yes. Okay, that's enough of my mouthful. You can take it away now, Dimwy. I'm going to drink some tea.
Usually you're the one to do the sign off. So I guess for VRML, for Palidore, for SirDimwi, and for so much for subtlety. Thanks for joining us, and have a good evening.
This is good tea.